We'll call the meeting to order and have a roll call by the Commission Secretary.
Mr. Fiddler. Mr. Oberlin.
Here.
Mr. Love.
Here.
Mr. Burridge.
Here.
Mr. Huckabee.
Here.
Mr. Alexander. Mr. Burgess.
Here.
Mr. Regan.
Here.
Chair declares a quorum present to conduct business, and we'd like to welcome Lori and John and Derek and Dave Anderson. Always glad to have you guys. Hi, John. Come and support us and help us, and we appreciate all the things that you guys do. I would turn it over to the director for a presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the Commission, Mr. Chairman, thank you for recognizing Dave Anderson. Dave is a county commissioner in Canadian County, and for a county commissioner to get here on a Monday morning with all that they have to do, I really appreciate you being here, Commissioner. I often talk about the Department of Transportation, county commissioners, and certainly the cities working together to make transportation as best it can be, because really citizens don't really care what it is, county road, highway, or city street. They just want good transportation, and I know Commissioner Anderson works toward that. And he's actually here to see what you guys do with one of his projects that was on the letting.
Gas out of his car to put in some of the county vehicles before he left. You know, they always need money.
He might have done that, but we won't talk about that publicly.
Well, I know there's every county commissioner gives more than just their time.
They do. They do. Well, Commissioners, each year the Pharaoh Award is presented for a particular project in the state of Oklahoma. O.J. Pharaoh was a highway contractor many years ago. He was the first president of what we now know as the Association of General Contractors. His son, Kent Pharaoh, was also president of the Association of General Contractors and actually sat right there and represented District 1 for a few years in the 90s as a transportation commissioner. Yes, you did. That's not speaking to your age, but it is speaking to the fact you served with him.
The young guy's down there now. Used to be on this end, though.
That's right. But the Pharaoh Award is presented annually by the Association of General Contractors, and this year, Division 7, the Duncan Residency, received the award for a project on US 81. It's a bridge project. And Mr. Chairman, if I could, I'd like for Jay Earp and his group to come up along with Overland Construction, who was the contractor, and we'll take a picture and present the award.
Great.
And Commissioner Burgess will join us for the photo.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Item 157 is the approval of the minutes of the November 6th meeting. We'll hear a motion.
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
And a second. Vote. Motion passes. Item 158 is the loan consent docket item that we can discuss. If no one wants to discuss it, then we will hear a motion to pass the consent docket.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? Please vote. Motion passes. Thank you. Mr. Tigler is going to present item number 159. It's programming.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Item 159, I have a programming item this month, Cleveland County, Commission District 3. We're requesting to program a project to repair vehicle impact damage to 12th Street over I-35. The estimated cost of this project is $100,000. Project can be ready for a March 2018 letting, and the party responsible for the damage is unknown. Approval is recommended, and I'll try to answer any questions if you have any.
You've heard the presentation.
I don't have a question specific to the bridge that was hit, but I did want to kind of recommend or suggest, to the extent, it seems like every meeting, every commission meeting, we have another bridge that was hit that comes up that we're having to spend money on for the most part. Sometimes the insurance is there, but too often it isn't. And to the extent that we can work with the Corporation Commission and with DPS, any other agencies that can help us kind of be able to better police the, our bridge asset, we need to do that.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner Love.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve item 159.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. The item passes. Would you continue with item number 160, the contract supplements?
Okay. I have 3 contract supplements this month. Part A is a statewide all districts. This is our revisions to our standard specification book. This is with Crafton Tull and Associates. We have negotiated a supplement not to exceed amount of $40,000. Part B is also statewide all districts. Is our on-demand bridge rehabilitation contract. We have a contract with Benham Design, Aguirre and Fields, AIA Engineers, and Tetra Tech. The total aggregate increase for these contracts, or for these 4 contracts, is $1 million. And Part C is also statewide, all districts. This is our on-demand land surveying contract with Carroll Surveying Service, Heartland Surveying and Mapping, and the total aggregate increase for these 2 contracts is $500,000. Approval is recommended, and I'll try to answer any questions if you have any.
Heard the recommendation?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank
Commissioner.
you. Mr. Atkins is not here. Shelley is going to take his place, make the presentation for the lettings.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Agenda item 161, it consists of the final February, tentative March, tentative April 2018 bid lettings. The department recommends and requests approval of this item.
Further recommendation?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes. Thank you. Item 162 is the change orders less than $75,000. Mr. Leonard has all the answers if you have a question for him. If you don't, we'll ask you to move to item 163, which is those that are greater than $75,000. Item 162 is for information only. Are there any questions for Mr. Leonard on 162? Hearing none, we'll ask him to present item 163.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, 163, parts A through O, these are the change orders on projects with a cumulative total of change orders greater than $75,000. Your recommendation is requested. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
You've heard his presentation.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes. Item 164, thank you, is the awards. Mr. Dels.
Morning, Commissioners. Mr. Chairman, item 164 is our recommendations from the November 16th bid openings. We had an AM and a PM. It is recommended that the following items from the November 16th bid opening referred to by quarter be awarded. It's called as 400, 405, 410, 415, 420, 425, 430, 435, 445, 455, 460, 465, 470, 475, 485, 495, 500, 510, and 515. It is recommended that the following items from November 16th PM bid opening referred to by call order be awarded. It's called as 540, 545, 550, 555, 560, 565, 570, 580, 585, 590, 595, 600, 605, 610, 617, 620, 622, 625, 630, 640, 645, 665, 670, 675, and 680. It is recommended that the following item from the November 16th PM bid opening referred to by call order be rejected. That's call order 650. This includes our recommendations for award. Your approval is requested.
Heard the recommendation.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to
Second.
approve and a second. Any discussion? There are none that I hear, so we'll vote, and we'll ask the director to elaborate on some of these projects and this bid opening. Thank you, Mr. Dels.
Thank you.
Motion passes. We have item 167, which is an emergency item. We'll ask the director, secretary to address.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Item 167, as you know, was an addendum to our original agenda. It's a declaration of emergency. And if I could, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to read this into the record. During the July 5th, 2017 commission meeting, a project was authorized to repair impact damage to the 65th West Avenue Bridge over US-64, US-412 in Tulsa County. A project to repair the impact damage was awarded to PBX Corporation during the November 6th, 2017 commission meeting at a cost of $273,216.35. On or about November 16th of 2017, before work could start, the 65th West Avenue Bridge sustained secondary impact very similar to the first impact, causing extensive additional damage. The damage required immediate closure of 65th West Avenue. The cost of the necessary repair will exceed the authority of the executive director to award an emergency contract. At this time, it is requested that the commission declare an emergency pursuant to the provisions of Title 61, Section 130 of the Oklahoma State statutes. Once the commission has declared an emergency to address the repair of the bridge, the office engineer will prepare a contract with PBX Corporation based on the previously bid unit prices for additional work to the estimated total cost of repairs necessitated by the second impact in the amount of $1,204,399.60. At this time, it is requested that the commission declare an emergency to facilitate the award for repair of the bridge.
Thank you for that presentation. What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion
Second.
and we have a second.
I beat him.
Any discussion? Mr. Love's already got us lined out on that. Vote, please. Motion passes. Thank you. Mr. Patterson, we'll let you move into the director's report.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Commissioner Love, your point is well taken about this bridges getting hit. Obviously, this one being hit again before we can get the first repairs done. We're going to pursue these things to the fullest extent that we can. we can't afford to keep having good bridges hit. It's hard enough to keep up with the bridges that we're trying to get replaced and repaired, to have good bridges hit like this one. Thank you for the awards that you made this morning. I know Commissioner Anderson was extremely excited about the CIRB project that you just awarded in Canadian County. You know, the CIRB program has been very fruitful for the state of Oklahoma since its inception in 2006. And of late, much like we have lost money in our program, the counties have lost money in their program. And it is a situation that we should all be concerned about as we look forward to making transportation and continuing to make transportation a priority for this state. So I know commissioners all across the state appreciate the awards of CIRB projects, of which there were many in this letting, in these two lettings. And it is, we will continue to work with the counties to get these projects led as quickly as we can. This past week, there were 2 awards provided to the Department of Transportation by the American Concrete Pavement Association, 2 silver awards. One was in Division 2 on a county road, and it was TTK Construction, and it was overseen by the Circuit Engineering District in that area, and it's administered by Division 2. So congratulations on that award for the state of Oklahoma. And also, we had another one in Blaine County on State Highway 51 that was overseen by Division 5. We'll always work hard to get recognized by the nation for the fine work that's done by the department and our county governments here in Oklahoma. So kudos to Division 2 and Division 5 in the respective county in Division 2. Some of the other projects that you awarded this is a good month for us. We've been waiting for the month of November. The November letting's been a big one for us here at ODOT. You awarded a boulevard project here in downtown Oklahoma City. We've been waiting a long time to get this done. It took some backing up, reevaluating downtown Oklahoma City, and we went through that process with the city, and so now we find ourselves to a point that we can award this first project on the east end. So we'll get started on this, and as quickly as we can, we'll get the west end of the boulevard to a point that we can take bids on it as well and get it awarded, so we can finish our task in downtown Oklahoma City, because I know they're anxious to have a new street, and we're anxious to deliver it. But other things that we've talked about is completion of corridors are also on this letting. One is up in US-54, which is a major truck route in the Panhandle, which causes us grave concerns because of safety issues along north and east of Guyman on 54. So being able to really get in there with earnest and start completing that corridor along with the US 270 corridor south of Sealing as we continue our efforts of 4-laning from Oklahoma City up to Woodward. So there's another piece to that. And then State Highway 74 here in Oklahoma City on the west side. We have the south end of State Highway 74 coming off of Memorial Road, the Turnpike, extension of the Lake Hefner Parkway. We have that completed. We have the north end up by Waterloo Road down to Covell or 178th, but we are missing the middle piece. You just awarded the middle piece, and we're anxious to get that completed so we can show that we can finish a project. We know what to do, know how to do it. We've waited for the money. We now have the money. We're going to finish it. Mr. Chairman, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Oh, I just forgot one. Maybe the biggest one of them all. For the money, I-35, I-235, and I-40. Brian Taylor pointed out to me, this may be the only place on I-35, the entire length of I-35 across this country, that it goes to one lane. And that one lane is to go from northbound to eastbound to the Dallas Junction, the Fort Smith Junction, whatever it is right there. And the one lane to go from westbound to southbound. We're going to add a lane to that because, as you know, congestion now has traffic backing up almost to 10th Street up on I-35 to get around those two corners. So we're going to see if we can get that fixed by adding a lane in there. That's a big project. You just awarded that for just over $5 million. Maybe the best money we spent today.
Well, I would agree with that. What year did we conceive the new Crosstown? Gosh, it had to be early 90s.
That's Streb.
Yeah, Streb was.
Dave, tell us, Dave.
First public meeting was January 1996.
1996.
Yeah, okay, I was thinking a little earlier than that.
So, well,
This-
so to your point, it was conceived, the first public meeting was in 96.
Yeah, this, 20 years,
20 years,
20 years.
20 plus years.
Mhm.
And we just awarded the Boulevard. So we're extremely happy about that. Sometimes it just takes forever to get some of this stuff done.
20 years.
20
Well, it's
years
still
in
a
the
great accomplishment, and, what we like, one more project on the Boulevard?
Yes. Yeah,
And-
we've got the east connection and the west connection.
Mhm.
Now we're doing the two middle projects.
Yeah.
So we've got the east end of the Boulevard.
And a little
the
bit,
west end.
one more sign, please.
That's right. Yeah.
Anything?
question.
Yes, sir.
What's the schedule on that I-35, between 10 and I-40 that you mentioned?
It's got a flexible start date on it. Do it? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for Casey and I talked about this on Thursday, but they have to start no later than April 2nd.
And what do you estimate the completion on that, Casey, from then? 5 months?
5 months.
5 months?
So it'll be done by this time next year?
Yes. Yes, it will. We've got a good contractor on it, so it's going to be good.
They're all good, right?
They're all good, some's
These
better than
guys.
others.
I had another question. How confident are you that the legislature knows what they're doing on the CIRB cutback?
Commissioner, I try not to answer, do I look too fat in these jeans questions. So, do I think they know what they're doing? I think they understand the impact that they're making, because I know it's been articulated by us, me personally, and the rest of our staff, as well as the county commissioners. I think they're receiving the message. They're having to make decisions based on the message that they're receiving.
Okay.
But I do believe they are receiving the message. One other thing, Mr. Chairman, if there are no more questions. Last Friday night, I had the opportunity to participate with the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad, along with Lori Peterson. In what I think, it was an amazing event. It's where the BNSF runs a Holiday Express, a train that they put military families and their children on this train. And they share in the joys of Christmas, and Santa Claus does what Santa Claus does. And they go around the country doing this. They were in Fort Worth Thursday night, here on Friday night, Springfield, Missouri on Saturday night. It was a great event. And to see the impact it made on those children when they get off the train and they're looking for Santa to give him that last hug around his leg, you know it was a great trip. But I wanted to mention, the benevolence of the BNSF is felt all across this country, And we worked very close with them, but they did a great job that night. Any other questions for me, Mr. Chairman?
Any other questions? Well, we again want to acknowledge the Boulevard project and the other projects, and sometimes it takes a long time, but I think Oklahoma now is looking like a different state because of the transportation projects, including the county roads, including the railway projects, and certainly the ones that ODOT and OTA has been involved in. I mean, it's a different day in Oklahoma.
It is a different day.
We thank our past governors and our legislators for getting us there. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
There we go. Let's vote. We're adjourned.